Yeah, you tried to get me there.
Why you stop?
Why
you stop right there?
You thought you was going to get me. I'm not finna be on the
that
YouTube.
Boy was ticking.
You're not finna have me on the YouTubes in here, pop blogging, dropping it.
You look like you was about to be on TikTok, boy. You came up with a whole new little dance. I'm mad you said you was pop blogging, dropping it though.
Huey. Hey.
All right, man. Here we are, episode 40. Well, let me go ahead because there were some non-anonymous suggestions that your boy was a little chapped on one of the first lives that we did. So I try to make sure.
Rex Chapman?
It was out there. So I try to make sure that that never happens again and I don't have the crackhead lips out there again.
Not Tyrone Biggum.
Tyrone Biggums. That's what I was thinking of, actually. So we are here, man. Episode 43 of the Splashcast, the pregame. Man, we got a Monday night, man. There's no sports on that we really care about. Although there's Bulls Suns is a good one that I might actually turn on.
Let's go, Suns. Get your streak back.
Yeah, because we sure enough need them to beat everybody in the Eastern Conference. But yes, episode 43, man. We got a lot of the Around the League edition. The ATL edition is out. The video, what's today? Monday. The ATL edition comes out tomorrow. As well as it'll be on all your DSPs, and the video will be out. The pregame will be out as well. So we're here, man. Did you? Well, let's talk about it. There was a great interview that happened, man. One of the most beloved amongst players, NBA characters of all time, Charles Oakley. Where Oakley go to school? Was it Union? Did he go to Virginia?
Union.
Yeah. Charles Oakley, for all you youngins that don't know who this man is, and he's been reduced to internet videos of him slapping security guards and The Last Dance. Well, I guess
from the sounds of things, he ready to slap anybody who want it right now.
I gotta say, you can be
Dennis Rodman. You know what it is.
All of y'all some punks. But man, we watched that Charles Oakley All the Smoke interview, man, on All the Smoke. What were your thoughts on it? He's coming out with a book, man. I actually probably would end up buying it off of this interview.
He's coming out with a book, and he says there will be a sequel. For me, I already love All the Smoke, but the way that Oakley just has conversations about everybody in the NBA so flippantly, like I don't care. Like he said, Dennis Rodman. Remember, I'm the enforcer. Nobody else can really talk to Dennis Rodman like that, but maybe him.
When he said
everybody else, yeah. He said, Shaq, I'll punch you.
He said, I'll punch you in the head. I hit you on the head before I let you dunk on me. And to Shaq's credit, Shaq was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm racking my brain trying to think about when Shaq dunked on Oakley. I don't think he did.
I'm sure. I mean, Oakley's never. You don't ever see, and Oakley, this is true. You don't never see Oakley, his highlights.
There's nobody dunking on Oakley. I'm thinking about it.
Dunking on Oakley.
And that's the high flyer era. And, there's no Dominique dunk. There's no Sean Kemp dunk. There's no Shaquille O'Neal dunk. I would assume maybe it exists somewhere, but who's foolish enough to really try to dunk on Oak and risk your own well-being and probably your career, as he's going to smoke it.
Let me first. That man Oak is from Cleveland. Went down to Union, body slammed a football player named Baby Bull who was messing with him, and said, "I'm gonna do this to you every time I see you." That's some real smoke. That's some real smoke when you tell somebody we're gonna fight every time. It don't matter if I whoop your ass this time. Every time I see you, I'm gonna body slam you.
And that is the worst guy because he pack his lunch and be like, "Hey, it's body slamming time every day." And here you are, you had a daily body slam appointment for the rest of your college career. You might as well just go ahead and drop out or get a gun.
What I'm trying to figure out is the football player, Baby Bull. What were you thinking? I mean, Oak ain't no little dude. Oak is like 6'6", 6'8". Like,
Hey, so we don't all make the
To be
best
a football
decisions.
player, you ain't the biggest. You ain't no 6'8" football players. Too many ever, especially back in the 80s.
I mean, some of us just make really bad decisions, and this was one. And I think that he maybe set the precedent for the rest of the world. Oakley is probably a guy I should probably leave the hell alone. And ever since then, people have been leaving Charles Oakley the hell alone.
Charles Oakley was the enforcer. So what I also took from this is I always knew that Oaken and Michael Jordan were close and good friends. I didn't know how close and I didn't know why, other than the enforcer. But this told me a little bit about Michael Jordan too. Michael Jordan and Kobe really are close. Like, I don't really give a shit about anything else. Are you here to play basketball and try hard? Which is exactly what he said in The Last Dance. If you here to try hard and play basketball, we gonna be cool. And Oak was like, nigga, I ain't athletic. They more athletic than me, but I'm fundamentally sound and I'll whoop a nigga ass.
I'll whoop your ass. You heard me? Well, I don't know if you got all the way to the point where he was like, well, he got traded. He asked Mike. He's like, Mike, you missed the team, man. What did you know about this? And here come Mike. Well, I kind of knew.
I mean, they said something to me about it, but I didn't know how true it was. Oh, so you did know, motherfucker.
And I think Oak is probably the only person who can probably hold Mike accountable for anything.
I think Mike appreciates that.
And he's still, and you know, Mike still gets tricky with Oak. Well, Oak is like, hey, Mike, nah, because he knew about it and didn't tell him.
Yeah.
But I mean, and Oak, it's just like any friend that you have. You know how you have a friend, you're like, oh, that's my friend, just being himself. Now you're gonna be like, hey, cut the foolishness, but you still know your friend.
One thing that Oak pointed out that is very true in this interview, and I think going forward, this would have been a great opportunity for us to kind of like watch it and do a reaction video. So we'll probably end up.
I would have been in tears. I would have been in tears.
Was Oak said he was always down for his teammates. Always down for his teammates. And you never really hear Charles Oakley, for as flippant as he talks, as you said, he's very candid and says exactly what he feels and is thinking right then and there. You never hear anybody say that he's a bad teammate, ever.
No, I think you might be afraid. Might get slapped. He look like he overhand anybody right now. I don't care about y'all young kids in this NBA. Well, old man, I put these old hands on you. And sing your daddy when I'm done. I know you want to tell him anyway.
He'll just whoop somebody ass. Like, he'll whoop anybody ass right now. And he in shape still. Like, he ain't fat.
Oh, yeah. Nuh-uh. It's just old country strength.
Yeah. Yeah. Old. He just built like a tank, dog. But if y'all have a chance, man, make sure
he is built like a football player
at 6'8" or however big he is, 6'6". But if y'all have a chance, man, make sure y'all go and listen to the All the Smoke interview of Charles Oakley and check out his book. What's the name of his book? I should have had
The Enforcer.
The Enforcer. Oh, that's right. That's right. We talked about it. You should make sure you check out his book. I'm definitely gonna go listen to it. He also talks about being in Chicago and how folks. Oh, he talks about Isaiah. That was my favorite part, Isaiah Thomas. Mike don't want to be your friend, Isaiah. Mike don't want to be your friend, Isaiah. You can just stay on ESPN, stay in your lane. You know he don't want to be your friend. You just mad because he came and took Chicago from you. I know. I was like, damn.
He said, yeah, I don't nobody like Isaiah. He's too sneaky. He sit there and lie to you. Isaiah, got it on camera. I was like, man, could you imagine all of them, throw magic in the room and just imagine what it's like for all, 6 or 7 of those type of guys
to just talk,
shooting the shit and shooting at each other. Because and you hear he don't really call Mike. He calls him Black, the Black Cat.
Yeah. Because Oakley is politically incorrect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Black. I was like, Black. Who is he talking about? Then they got to the point.
Oh, go ahead.
When they got to the point where they were picking, 5, the 4 other players who he wanted. He said he wanted LeBron, Black, Michael Jordan, Shaq, and I'm trying to think of and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the guys who he wanted, and I mean, you ain't going wrong with them.
200 championships, but
And teams are only playing 3 quarters against those guys.
Yeah,
they're gonna run you off the floor. You're like, nah, I'm good.
You ain't even gonna be able to bring the ball up.
That's so much hell at one time. That's the most amount of hell you might be able to get.
I will say it's very interesting how let's go Hampton. They beat Delaware. It's very interesting how for all the smoke that Scottie Pippen has for Michael Jordan and how Charles Oakley shoots at everybody. Pretty much anybody that has an issue with his friend, he shoots at. He didn't really say much about Scottie.
He said, I like Scottie. I have a lot of respect for Scottie.
And then he said, Scottie was going through a lot of stuff when his son died, his wife left, he didn't even say left. He said he's going through all that stuff. Oh, they talking shit. Going through all that stuff with his wife and free bands. I couldn't help it.
Nevadius.
But so he says he likes Scottie, but he still slapped him on camera, like in the locker room.
But I Scottie was a lot. I don't think
he's definitely
I don't think that Oak wasn't. He don't seem like the guy to big time.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't trying to embarrass you. Sometimes you need a little refresher on life.
Yeah, like hey, know your place.
Yeah,
he just took everything. You can't make fun of Oakley, even if you know him.
And he very much so, and he kind of talks about it. He doesn't like today's basketball.
At all.
He doesn't like that nobody has a role. And a lot of this stuff, especially with the Hawks, are like issues we have. And he's like, this basketball now. And you could tell like at his heart, he's a basketball nerd. Was the way that he talks about, I know where to set my picks. I know how to throw the lead pass. You can tell that he is a guy he's like probably Draymond before Draymond, of a guy who's not the most athletic, but very technically sound with everything that he does. And I don't know if
he said that's what he said in his tryouts. He said I wasn't the most athletic, but I was super.
I know how to play basketball,
and I know how to play basketball. It's funny how he talks about coming from a smaller school in that draft process, and then going to the tryouts and seeing players that are from bigger schools and how they just disrespect the coach, how they just disrespect the coach's play. Coach was like, yo, Dean Smith, 2 passes and shoot. And he said, what are y'all doing? He said 2 passes and shoot. They pass the ball, do shoot. Get the ball inbound, shoot. He was like, I'm looking like, what are y'all doing? Black schools, you don't disobey the coach.
Nah, now that you smart.
We both trying to make it out of here, brother.
Yeah, we are. Hopefully, prayerfully.
So it was just interesting to hear him talk about that as well. So with that being said, man, moving on before we get out of here and get started, man, I just want to bring, since we're talking about all the smoking teams that are kind of throwback to how it used to be in the NBA, mano y mano. And it is what it is. You can talk all the trash you want. Giannis is one of those players that people like because he talk trash. You talk trash to him, he gonna try to block it. He gonna knock you down. He gonna run you over. It is also for this era. And
Giannis, I'm sorry, dog. You're right. You're a man. You talking trash to me in that Greek accent ain't scaring me, big dog. You have to show me every time.
And when he show you,
you're right.
He got a lot of Nigerian body to show you.
Yeah. Hey, yo. Whoa.
I ain't mean it. I didn't mean it like that, man. You just said you're not scared of him. I'm like, he's 6'11", 260.
Yo, you look right in that camera and said that with all the conviction in the world.
Acted it out too.
Oh my goodness! This is
the N-word a whole lot of times. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna edit it out either because that's a lot of editing. I said about 15 times in 14 minutes.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, and the bad part is that wasn't the worst. Let's get to the episode, man.
Man. Let's talk about the Grizzlies and all the smoke, man.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that Ja is the only tough person on that team. I think
I
the
mean,
main.
Bane is the one that's been talking trash though. You got it to Julius Randle. Julius is trying to be funny. Told
Assistant
LeBron,
pimp.
chill out.
All of that is assistant pimping. When the rubber meets the road, you're not going to be anywhere close to being the guy who anybody is looking for when it gets problematic. So I think he can say whatever he wants to, but I think Ja's that real deal, and everybody else I think can be pushed over. But I like that they at least attempt to like. I wish we had that.
I was about to say, man, they are definitely honing into the Memphis Grizzlies with Zach Randolph and Tony Allen and all of them, and they are keeping that culture there. They're like, look, we here to talk trash. We just better than them. Like, and they are a better team right now for today's basketball. But they are kicking ass and taking names. I like it, man. And Trey, you better get some dog in you because Ja out here.
I don't like that our dog is only on one end of the court. Mm-hmm. It ain't no defensive dog. And I was trying to, and we'll talk about this later. I'm not going to belabor this point, but I wish defensively we had a guy who is the guy who's the leader of the defense. We don't know who that person is.
Well, the person that's supposed to be is also on one end of the court. Can't do nothing offensively. Everybody has a handicap.
But even with that, he's not leading the defense like he should be.
Clint Capella is who I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, by the way.
I mean, yeah, I think you should know that Clint Capella is the guy we're talking about, but he's just not leading the defense. But we will talk about that next week on see how these guys play.
Let's 16 minutes into the pregame. Appreciate y'all. We are now going to get into the Around the League edition of episode 43 of the Splash Cast. By the time you listen to this, you have already got the ATL edition as well as the Splash Cast 12-pack. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it.
Keep your eyes off the Nigerian bodies.
Fuck you, man.